What's up, Gamecock Nation? It's your buddy Rooster back today. Wanted to talk about the quarterback position for South Carolina. Listening to Shane Beamer last week in his press conference, the question was asked if he had to start a different quarterback than Lenore Sellers, or number two, something happened to Lenore. Who would be the number two quarterback? Luke Doty is who he mentioned. A lot of people didn't take that serious. I kind of understand it a little bit on why it would be Luke, because Luke's been in the program a long time and kind of understands. He's been in games. Luke came in during the COVID year 2020, played in 8 games. He started 2, had 43 completions on 71 attempts for 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And then that was the year we know Muschamp got let go. Shane Beamer comes in. 2021, Luke is named to be the starting quarterback. What does he do? He gets stepped on, breaks his foot, can't start the first game of the season. I think it was the very first practice, fall practice. He got injured. So there goes his starting. He did end up playing in 6 games. 4 games started. How is Luke still around, right? We know Luke, probably his first visit to South Carolina, came in riding a dinosaur. He's been around that long, but actually he is not. This is the 24-25 season will be, he's going on his 6th year. That was his 5th year. Well, you get to COVID year, and then in 2022, 2023, he only played in 5 games, so he was able to get a red shirt. Since COVID doesn't count, it doesn't count against your 4 and 5, whatever the clock may be, and he's not bounced around. So, you know, with Rashul Faison, the big thing is everyone's trying to figure out what he did, when he did it. I think Marshall kind of has him screwed up somewhere in there, but, you know, he was released to practice. I think he'll end up getting to play. But then we talk about the young guys coming in this year to South Carolina. You got Cutter Woods out of high school, 3-star kid. I think a lot of people thinks a lot of him. Played okay in the spring game. I don't really put a lot into spring games, but you know, people think he's going to be really good from what they've seen out of him, and I don't think South Carolina would have went after him if the coaching staff didn't think he would end up being good. Also transferring in was a 5-star Noland, who transferred in from Ohio State. Why Beamer's talking about it being Luke Doty is the other 2 guys haven't really seen any action. Cutter Woods, brand new out of high school, hasn't played any college football. Noland kind of sat on the bench last year at Ohio State. Maybe got in a few games, but not really any starts. And you're in the SEC. Luke Doty has that. Now, will that change through fall camp? We have to see. Not a lot of reports are being said about the quarterback position just yet. I listened to an interview earlier by Shane Beamer, and he was talking about all the quarterbacks are doing good. Would it still be by game 1? Would it be Luke Doty in that position? I don't know. We've seen Luke Doty catching kick return. I don't think he's playing receiver right now. He's not been mentioned in the wide receiver room. That's where he's been for a couple years. Would you have your backup quarterback returning kicks? I don't know. It's kind of, we've done weirder shit at South Carolina. I mean, we took a grad assistant off the bench, took his clipboard away from him, and threw him in the helmet back in Shane Beamer's first year. So there has been really a lot of strange things happen around the program. Turned out to be a successful year for Shane Beamer. Go to bowl game, winning a bowl game in his first year. Struggled the last 2 bowl games we went to. We kind of understand what happened last year in the bowl game. Nicky Mawari not playing the second half. Kyle Kennard not playing. Rocket Sanders not playing. But I think that's why Beamer made that statement about who would be the number 2 quarterback. At this point in time, it's because of the experience of Luke Doty. Luke Doty's not going to get overexcited to go into a football game. He has played a lot of SEC football. So it's just a calm thing. I think it's a confidence thing from the coaches in him to go out and not lose you a football game. I don't think it's so much in that they say, hey, well, Luke Doty, and he can do some of the things that Lenore's does. And he's not near Lenore's size. I mean, Doty's 6'2", he's 215 pounds, but he's not, he can't do what Lenore Sellers does, but he's still mobile enough to get you some runs, some yards running the football. He understands the offense. But I think that's kind of where we're at. And you know, a lot of talk this year has been about, you know, Mike Shula taking over as the offensive coordinator. Dow Loggins was the last 2 years. Dow had his ups and downs, but Mike Shula was always on the sideline with the iPad. We heard this from Shane Beamer with Lenore Sellers, going through what he did right, what he did wrong, looking at the pictures, looking at the videos, seeing what Sellers needed to adjust, what adjustments they needed to make, or whatever in his game to keep him calm. So Mike Shula taking over made a lot of sense. Also, we'll see how that goes, right? We had a one-game sample, which was the bowl game last year. And I just really don't think they were going to try to put Lenore's in any position to get hurt in that bowl game either. But Illinois had a good game plan against him. Will other people try to use that this year? They laid back. Sometimes they only had one defensive lineman kind of maintaining, and then they put two spies out there on Lenore's. I think South Carolina would look at that and say, okay, we saw what they did. Are other teams going to try this against us? And there you just go to, I think you just go to a running strategy at that point. If you're going to go that light on your defensive line, South Carolina is just going to line up and run against you at that point. So I think on a one-game sample, you saw Illinois get away with that. I don't think that's something that a lot of teams would try to get away with. Just too many big gaps for a running game to get going. But yeah, that's why I think Luke Doty was named at the start of fall camp as QB2. That's the statement Beamer made. I think a lot of people question that. Well, Aaron Noland was a 5-star. Why would he not be? Hey, by the time the season starts, he might be number 2. Cutter Woods may jump above both of them in practice. We don't know. I haven't really heard anything. Whether anyone's throwing interceptions, anyone's struggling at the QB position. Not a lot coming out of South Carolina with that stuff. I think it should be getting somewhere near, I think about 6 practices, the rule where they can start hitting. But, of course, the quarterbacks will not be live. You're not going to be hitting the quarterback, I do not think. I would think the only one that maybe they would let get hit would be Cutter Woods. But I don't know. I don't see any quarterback for South Carolina. You know, a lot of these teams now are even talking about they're not even really practicing in a whole lot of pads or doing a whole lot of hitting. One of the things I heard Ohio State's coach Ryan Day talking about is they just, you know, I think you got to get hit. You got to get some calluses up. I don't think you can baby football players that much. But a lot of teams now just don't want to take the chances of getting injuries in fall camp, preseason camp. You know what I mean? But don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Hang out with your boy Rooster. I got to do a little bit of a rant on Gamecock fans. Man, we have got to stop with this uniform helmet thing. We are 3 weeks away from the start of football season, and all I see all over Twitter from Gamecock fans is this shit about uniforms and helmets. Nobody gives a crap. Do you see any elite programs? This is why people make fun of South Carolina fans, a lot of us. Because all over social media, y'all out here worrying about what kind of damn helmet they're going to wear. Just because Lenore Sellers suggested a helmet to Shane Beamer and it was brought up in an interview, y'all blow this shit out of proportion. Do you hear Alabama fans talking about what uniform Alabama's going to wear, or Georgia fans, or Penn State, or Ohio State, or Michigan? Do you hear any of the elite blue blood type successful programs talking about their damn helmets and uniforms. They're talking about winning football games, winning championships. One comment I got back on Twitter today was, well, we're just trying to have fun because there ain't really nothing to talk about. Hey, there's a hell of a lot of players to talk about on South Carolina's football team. There's newcomers. You can talk about defense. You can talk about offense. You can talk about tight ends. You can talk about DB room. There is plenty of shit to talk about other than what uniform they're going to wear. I can tell the younger generation of fan versus us older generations, because we don't give a shit. You can go back to the Lou Holtz uniforms for all I care and strip everything off of it, as long as you win championships, win football games, make playoffs. I don't give a damn what you're wearing. I really don't. I'm at the point with South Carolina, I don't care what uniform they wear. I want to be a successful program where uniforms don't matter. Whatever they got on, they go out and they win in it. But you know what? This is like the Jordan generation, where these dumbasses will go out and spend $500 on a pair of tennis shoes. They worry about clothing and name brands and all that crap. When you get older, man, you don't care. You just want to win every day. And the players want to win every day. You hear them talk about it. They want to stack days. They want to win every day. But y'all out here running around talking about some kind of damn uniform and size, logo, what type of logo needs to be on the side of the helmet and all this crap, what color it should be, stripes, no stripes, whatever the hell y'all want to talk about. That's my rant. But anyway, I'm sure I'm going to piss off some South Carolina fans with that, but that's okay. We older generation just don't give a shit about uniforms. We want to see South Carolina win championships, SEC championships, national championships, be in playoffs, be competitive, be talked about. I don't really give a damn about a uniform, and that's just my opinion. Everybody can do what they do, and y'all talk about whatever you want to talk about. I just unfollow you and not watch that goofy ass teenage bullshit. But anyway, hey, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the channel, tell everybody come hang out with Rooster Man if I didn't piss you off too bad. But hey, also don't forget to subscribe to SEC Lockdown Football, where I talk about all the other teams and everything that's going on in the SEC. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all for taking the time to watch my videos. Holla. Peace.